Hello and welcome. Here we have the Wey walk. We're just going to have a walk down here and show you all the features of a river. So right off the bat, look at the wildlife. We have ducks here feeding, male and female. So it's a lovely place for nature. We have loads of ducks and also birds, which you can't really see at the moment because they're probably away migrating in warmer countries. The mallard duck eats many different things, such as seeds, grass, moss, algae, and all sorts of things, and even potentially small fish, but that's more of a rarity here in Wey Walk. The geese here, which can be seen further away at the minute, enjoy a similar diet of seeds, berries, maybe small insects at times, but they mainly follow a similar diet, which does give the Wey Walk a good food chain. You can see that we begin with the producers here with the grass and moss, and then it moves up to small insects, which you can't really see at the moment, but if you really tried and looked, you could probably find. And then at the top, you would have the mallard ducks and the geese. Herons are at the top of the food chain. They're one of the most rare animals, especially in such a small lake as our own. Heron are carnivores and usually they fish. So you can find usually heron come down and they take big gulps of the water with many fish inside. And I must say it's an absolute delight to have seen a heron today in the Wey Walk, because it is truly a rarity to see such a bird. Herons stay very still, analysing their surroundings to see if they can find any sort of prey. I'm not expecting there'll be much prey here, but who knows, maybe the heron will find some lunch today. Over here we have a meander. You can see the river bends over here and goes over here. And you can see that eventually there will be an oxbow lake. You can see over here erosion undercutting the ground. You can see how the plants are overcutting. And over here you can see depositional. So you can see how the sand and the sediment is being built up to form a new beach, which eventually will form in who knows how many years, but eventually we will see an oxbow lake in the Wey Walk. Over here we can see some rocks, and what these are used to increase the height of the riverbanks in order to prevent flooding. So if we walk over here, we can see a perfect example of these rocks being used in action. As you can see over here, you have a bit of ground, and you can see that can raise up in order to reduce the risk of flooding in case there is a really bad weather event. And so this is used to make levees and whatnot to really raise the height of the riverbanks. Over here we have a beautiful example of deposition. As you can see in this river, you can see very heavy rocks and the water simply does not have enough energy to carry, and it has been deposited onto the riverbeds. And eventually this will increase the height of the riverbed until eventually we have to either dig out all that sediment that's been dropped, or we have to raise the riverbanks in order to prevent flooding in our beautiful Wey Walk. So over here you have a perfect example of water discharge. This is probably collecting water from all over the place, perhaps grey water or freshly clean water that's being pumped back into the river. However, this could cause some problems. For example, if there's a very strong storm or heavy rainfall, the discharge could increase and potentially cause the river to flood, which is not something we want. Over here, we have some defences to protect Wey Walk from flooding. Over here, you can see that when the water level of this pond gets too high, the water is removed by this thing and is flooded into the river to prevent any sort of flooding. So that way the river can take the water away, prevent the floods, or prevent the pond from flooding, and overall keep this pond a nice lovely place to visit and enjoy.